Sorry guys, we had to fix my phone because you saw something that I should have not seen. And there you go, we died. So that's kind of cool. We died. Why is that kind of cool? Because we can take care of it right away. Baby, ooh, oh. I'll be coming home just to be alone. No matter what I try, never satisfied. This is not a home, I think I'm better off alone. Okay. But it's been so many years. And touch it away, touch it so bright. You got to touch it out. This it doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. That she doesn't mind. Not your soul, I. Don't blink, it's your boy Yank. Welcome to the show. Guess you're doing well. Again, wonderful day. Today is the 3rd December. We're doing much better, as you can tell. So we're going to be tasting something, you know what I mean, in our trends. You don't mind at all. I got you so lie. And she doesn't lie. But Sean Paul. So we're doing much better, much better. We're going to be saying why is that we're doing so much better. It's cold as fuck outside. There was snow this morning, so we're gonna be tasting. Today we're gonna be tasting Rockstar Pure Zero watermelon. I wanted to do a video before, but I was like, dude, you could do the energy drink, have a little bit of sugar, have a bit of I don't know, but have a little bit of it. We're doing much better. So thank you for people that care. Thank you for people that don't care. Thank you for people that were there. And thank you for people that miss out. Without further ado, I'd say I'm a really big fan of the can. Usually, I'm gonna be honest, Pure Zero, they don't do well with the can. They're kind of boring, but if you look, there's kind of a design, right? It's kind of cool. The watermelon, we got the green, the white, the green, the white, the red, which is actually kind of cool. And I do not think that I tasted one, but I might have tasted. Listen, this summer since the summer we did more than 4,000 videos, so I don't remember everything, but I'm excited to try that. And it is so good to be alive. It is so good to be better. So let's fucking go. Watermelon. Yeah. It's good. It's good, but it's not great. No, that's not true. It's good, but it's not great in the sense that it's not a watermelon. It's really good. I like it a lot. But somehow, some way, doesn't really feel like we're having a it's complicated. It does taste like watermelon, but in a way where it's candied watermelon. So think about your Jolly Rancher. Think about your gum. Think about your candy. Think about your hard candy that's supposed to taste like watermelon. That's what it tastes like. But then again, you got jujube or you got gummies that are tasting watermelon, right? And it tastes like that. So is my perception of watermelon wrong, or am I being complicated? It's actually really good. Listen, Pure Zero Rockstar are usually good, are usually okay. They're not the best, but just weirdly speaking, I'm less stressful, I'm less rude, I'm less strict with other than that Monster. Like, I was thinking about it. I was worshipping Celsius. I was worshipping Ring because it wasn't Monster. Monster was I was rude with it. And Rockstar is one of those brands that I don't really like usually. So the Rockstar is, and I know I said this story before. I know I said this story once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Guess it. But the reality is, I'm very strict when it comes to original. So my opinion is, when you look at a product and you look at the original, you have a good idea. If a product original is shitty, there's a good chance that the rest of the product is shitty, right? Just saying. If the prologue of a show isn't good, then why watch the rest of the show? Just saying. So with Rockstar, I'm a bit more lenient. I'm a more generous shepherd when it comes to the sheep. It tastes really nice. See, we just did a video, right? And again, this wasn't planned. Please trust me. But like last couple of days, we weren't doing well, right? Today I saw my father, my mom, right? I talked to my mom. She lived a bit too far for me to see her every day. And yesterday and before yesterday, we were not doing really well. And I thought I would have to kind of pretend like I'm doing okay, because I don't want to worry them. I like them. I love them. My parents, right? I'm 31 years old. I should be taking care of myself. So I kind of came in with the plan of pretending like I was okay. Pretending. But then again, pretending like I'm okay, right? But then I came in and it was natural, and you realize that I didn't have to pretend. Maybe I'm doing well, you know? And with this one, it's actually the same thing. You don't really like Rockstar, so you feel like you have to pretend like you're open-minded, even though you have a preconceived notion of the product because you taste the original and you didn't like the original. So your preconceived notion of this said original shitty means that the preconceived notion of the product in itself is shitty. Because your preconceived notion of the product is shitty, you don't allow yourself to taste it. So right away when I tasted it, I was like, oh, there's something, but it's actually really well. So fuck my preconceived notion. Let's just be open-minded. And if you're open-minded, you should realize that it's actually a good product. I would have thought. So watermelon, just a solid taste. I don't know. It's really nice. It's really nice because it tastes like watermelon. I feel like my original problem was good though, because when it tastes like original, but that's with everything. You taste the original and like this doesn't taste like the original, or it doesn't taste like watermelon. But when you taste with you taste with your eyes, your nose, your mouth, you're touching, right? You're expecting a certain texture and you don't have it. It doesn't mean that it's not good. It doesn't mean that it's not watermelon, but it doesn't represent the experience of a watermelon. It's really nice. We'll definitely buy again. We'll buy again. I'm gonna push it forward more. You wanna go a bit deeper in the details. Okay. You wanna go deeper? No problem. So we tasted a watermelon Monster Ultra Zero. That is disgusting. It doesn't taste good at all. Sorry, Monster. You fucked it up. Then we tasted a Ring energy drink, right? Called Melon Mania. Now, Melon Mania is not my favorite. I kind of like it, but it's not my favorite because it's better than the Monster, but barely. So you're like, oh, okay. So if it is barely better than the original, you're like, what am I gonna do, right? And then you're like, well, I don't really know what to do, so I'll have the least painful experience, which is the Melon Mania. Then you're like, well, this is the least painful, so kind of enjoying, right? Rockstar, right, is the answer you've been looking for. Do you like watermelon energy drink? Or you just tolerate them? It's actually enjoyable. And at the end, fuck tastes. Fuck the product, fuck the brand. Fuck everything. But the experience. On that note, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. It's been 20 years. Don't blink, it's your boy Yink. Welcome to the show. We're doing well on this 3rd December 2024. As you can notice, we're smiling, we're doing much better. If you could notice on yesterday, the 1st December, I know yesterday was the 2nd, but hear me out. The 1st we weren't doing so well. The 2nd we weren't doing so well. We're doing a lot better. So this is going to be one of the videos where I explain why I'm doing better, my fear of doing better. It's going to be a video where I also talk about branding for a very specific reason. So It's gonna be the classic ADHD video. It's gonna be a lot of yapping. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be entertaining. Maybe you learn a thing or two. Maybe you fucking press pause because you cannot follow me, or you think I'm going way too deep. But I'm trying to keep all the thoughts in my head instead of going under. Little shout to Sum 41. It was all a plan. I have nothing else to say. Nothing else to say. So, basically, as you know, it was a really special day today. So, yes, the first I felt really shitty. And I was like, okay, well, I've been feeling shitty for a couple of weeks, but today I really feel it more. I feel it in my bone. I feel it in my skin. Everything's about to change. We're changed 9 till. And you're like, ugh, what can I do for that, right? The first one, I'm like, I'm really not depressed, but I'm really sad. So let's talk about it, right? And then it helped. It helped a little bit. So yesterday I came in and said, you know what? It really helps when you talk about your things, right? So I did a video, and weirdly speaking, I was like, maybe by doing it twice, gonna be healed. And then after I did the video, I was left feeling nothing, not feeling sad, not feeling happy, right? And today I saw my father. And if you look at the video we did yesterday, right? You know that I talked about my father now, which I didn't want to see him, right? Which is not because he's not a good person. I love my father; he's a good guy. But listen, my father is demanding emotionally, and when you're not doing well emotionally, it's a lot, right? Simply said. So what happened today was kind of fucked up. And again, I'm all about honesty. I'm really all about honesty. So maybe I sound like an asshole, but hey, we all have an asshole. So it shouldn't be that bad. We all have an asshole. We possibly all have two eyes. Most of us have. I was going to say a nose, but that's not true. I was going to say 2 ears, but that's not true. 2 eyes, but that's not true. But everybody that I know have an asshole. Weirdly speaking. Assholes are more common than eyeball. Who would have guessed? So instead of making me look like an asshole, which is actually pretty normal, I'll be looking like your fellow neighbor. Your friendly neighborhood. Instead of being Spider-Man, I'm going to be the asshole. So I was going to my father's house today, and I had a plan of pretending like I was okay. Because my mom, bless her heart, I talked about this yesterday too, so this is repeating yesterday, but it's just to prove how much of a continuity there is. It's just to prove how much I felt what I was saying, just to prove how honest I was being with you guys, because again, there's no point in me talking about my issues with being dishonest. Okay. I was looking for guidance in life, okay? I'm not the most religious person. I don't believe in a lot, right? Wasn't raised to be religious, so because I wasn't raised to be religious, I haven't found God, you know? So I was looking for guidance, and I turned to a book I found in the garbage about 8 years ago. And that book is The 12 Steps. Now, if you're in the AA, which is Alcoholic Anonymous, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The 12 Steps to Stop Being an Alcoholic. And I started reading it. And surprisingly, it was really helpful. Now, am I saying that this is the perfect book for everybody? No. Am I saying that this is the only answer to every single one of your problems? No. But if it helped, it helped. Now, if it helped me, maybe it will help you. I hope it helps you. I hope that you, but mostly, I hope that you don't need help. Yeah. I hope that you don't need help. How's that first heart? Stop wishing and find a tool to help yourself. Focus on not needing the help in the first place. So, and what if the first step was an atonement, realizing that something you did was wrong, right? So I was like, my mom, I was talking about it yesterday, my mom, I told her to stop being worried about me because I was okay, and I was okay. And yes, my mom, she's worrying about me financially, she's worrying about me in this economy, she's worrying about me in life, like, oh, you're going to find a good job because you need a good job because you're 31 years old. You need to find a good job, which, honestly speaking, it's weird because she said the same thing about my father, but my mom, she's more, it's weird. It's going to be a long video, so get used to it. My mom, it's very weird. My mom kind of understood who I am. And I told you guys this story before, but a lot of my friends, thinking about Chao, Carl, two of my best friends, right? They're very understanding of who I am. They're very, like, I'll do something that I'll regret, and they'll forgive me because they know that I'll regret it. They don't know I'm honest when I'm saying sorry, you know? And it's not necessarily because they let me abuse them, but more so in a way of, you made a mistake? That's okay. Right? Which is very rare nowadays. My mom, Shao, especially Shao, Carl a bit less, but especially Shao. Shao is gonna come into me, and let's say I have a problem at work, and he's gonna come to me, and for some reason he knows exactly what to say, he knows exactly how to talk to me, to calm me down, to make sure that I'm okay, but still there's a lesson inside of it. So I'm gonna calm you down, make sure that you're okay. I'm gonna teach you something, and because you're so focused on me trying to make you feel better, that you realize that there's a lesson in there. By the time that you realize that you already did it, right? Because I trust you, and because I trust Shao, and I'm gonna do what he tells me to do, right? So my mom kind of understood that. My mom, she tells me the same advice that my father did, but she does it in a way that's a bit more, I wouldn't say soft, but it more, you know what? I got a perfect world. A bit more subjective than a totality. My father talks about in totality. My father is like, oh, this is this way or not this way, but it's this way. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is this way. You're gonna try to find another way. It's not gonna work this way. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this is the easiest way. Maybe this is the way that there's the most sliding. Maybe that's the way that is the quickest to go there. And you could say that both parents will push you towards a certain way, but they do it in a different fashion, right? So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because you think about a way, we're talking about an alley, we're talking about a direction, right? So let's give you a visual aspect, because I've been listening to a lot of Casey Neistat, and Casey Neistat, that's the way it works. So let's give you a visual aspect. So you're in a cavern, right? And there's a guide, and the guide gives you the way, and the guide is actually really good, and he tells you the exact direction to go, and the guide is like that. But you're more so a visual learner, right? So that when the guide is talking to you and giving you directive, you don't follow them, because you're not so much of an audio learner, or and you're a visual learner. So you go in and you saw that there's arrows on the floor, like a key. There's a bunch of panel that tells you, hey, you're on the right way, right? And by doing this is a visual support. Now, ultimately speaking, if you're very lucky, then both are coming together as one, and you have the best experience, because you got the visual and audio stimulation, right? Which is the total experience, right? You're not gonna taste a cavern, right? But let's say my father is more visual and I'm more auditive. My mom's more auditive, I'm going to be listening to my mom. Let's say my mom is more so of giving possibility, and I'm more so a guy with preferred option. I'm going to do it, you know? And the reason I said that is because my parents are both very similar. They're very different, but they're very similar. I'm very lucky. My parents, they disagree about everything. It's not their fault though. My father was more factual, and my mom is more emotional. That's life. Even there's time where my mom's gonna act and she's gonna react, and I'm like, Mom, it's not that big of a deal, right? That's more like my father, but at the same time, see, and it's nice, because even though they disagree on everything, they agree on one thing, and they're wanting the best for me. And like I said I had wonderful parents, and I'm very, very lucky that I had good parents, right? And I don't know, dude. I don't know. See, my mom, it's one thing to tell her. Yesterday I told you that I told her that she told me. I told you guys that I told her, stop worrying, Mom. And then instead of stopping worrying, she stopped telling me that she was worried, right? And my father the same way. My father will have a different way of being worried, but he's going to be worried. And they're both obsessed with me because I'm their only child, right? So whenever they think about parenting, however they feel paternal or maternal, I think about their only kid, and their only kid is me, you know? So there's a pressure of being the unique children, right? If you fuck it up, there's no more choice, right? You don't want to have grandkids, well, you're their only hope. So I cannot tell my mom, stop worrying, but tell my dad, keep on worrying. So even though my father is more factual than emotional, he's still like me emotion. He's not made of stone. So I went in, and the plan was to pretend like I was doing okay, because I didn't want him to worry. Because last week I was doing so good, and even I'll be completely fucking honest. Even going there this morning, I live 9 minutes, 10 minutes from my father's walking. Okay. Even going there. I'm gonna regret saying this all my life, but fuck it. Even going there, I was nervous, because I was like, dude, I'm not doing well. I don't want to go there. And then I go to there, and my father, which is again also like me, a talker, and my father brings me 10, 20 different subjects. I'm like, oh my god. And the truth is, I didn't see my father in 3 months. That's normal. But he brings me. We still talk on the phone, but not that much. Very very cold from my part, not his part, my part. And ultimately speaking, my father was the first time we see each other in months. So like okay, and then he talked to me and he talked to me and he talked to me and then he even brought up this trip that he did in Spain, Espagne, which is not Spain. Spain, it's kind of Spain, but it's not Spain. Spain. It's not the city of Spain. It's the country of Spain, I guess, something like that. Listen, I didn't have geography when I was in class. Blame my teacher. Blame this. Blame the education system that failed me. Okay, thank you. And I was like, and it was weird because yes, my father, and there's a really sweet thing that happened today with my father. They're really really sweet things. I'm not gonna tell him that I'm not doing well mentally. I'm not doing physically because I don't think he's gonna understand. Not because he doesn't want to understand, but because it's more factual. It's more less emotional, right? So I'm not gonna tell my dad because I don't think he's gonna understand, and I don't think he's gonna understand, which means that he's gonna freak. Okay. Okay. You have a kid, okay, that is more that's not a sport athlete, that is not a sport, and you tried every single sport with that guy and it didn't work, right? Well, you're not gonna expect that kid to be the best athlete because you tried to do sport with him and it didn't work. My father, I fucking love that guy, but he's not the most emotionally intelligent person. My father is kind of the guy that's, and I'm like that too. I cannot blame him. I'm like that too. My father, you're gonna have an emotion with him, and he's not gonna realize that you have an emotion. And when you're mad at him or mad at something, you're gonna be mad at him, and then he's gonna look at you after a couple of minutes, and he's like, "Are you mad at something?" And you're like, "No shit, I'm mad." And he has this realization, which, ultimately speaking, most people, when you're gonna talk to them, most people are gonna have a conversation. If they're feeling a certain type of way, you'll figure it out right away. My father takes a bit of time, right? Does that make him a bad dad? No. A different dad, yes, but not a bad dad. And I do that too. there's multiple, and I got ADHD, as you can tell. There's multiple times I'm going to talk to someone, right? And I'm like, what emotion are they feeling? And that question of what emotion are they feeling, coming from a place of, I hope I get their emotion, because if they need help, I want to be there to help them. Or if they don't need help, then I don't have to worry about them, right? So my father, and this really sweet thing that happened this morning, as I told them about the building was infested with I said rat, but it's not true. It's not true. I said rat. It's not true. I said mouse. It's not true. It's the mulot. So the mulot is like mole rat. It's in the family of the rats and mouses. It's in the same family, but it's not that. It's like it's another race. And my building was infected, and you know that I have a couple now. Hopefully, I don't have any more. I didn't have one in like 2-3 weeks, which is actually really good. But I didn't tell them that. I told them that at work, I didn't get a lot of hours. That's true. I didn't get a lot of hours. I don't make that much, right? I still make money, which is great, but I don't make that much. Now, technically speaking, I'm very lucky because I got a very supportive system. If I didn't have a supportive system, the salary wouldn't be enough. Which is, in one way I could be like, yo, I'm doing everything I can. But at the same time, if that supportive system wasn't there, I wouldn't be making it out alive, right? And because I wouldn't make it out alive, it's not normal. It's one thing that if you don't work and you don't have cash, right? It's one thing. It's another thing when you work, but you're constantly broke. Like, how the fuck am I broke? I work. Doesn't make sense, right? But with my job, I make around, I'm gonna say, I'll make around $550 a month. Okay, that's a month. Now, if you don't know, my rent is $625. Okay, I don't know if you're good at math, but there's a problem somewhere, right? And I told him about that, and it's funny because even though he talked about a lot of subjects, even though he talked about, even though he talked about every single thing, but my problems, he knew about those two things. He mentioned those two things. He asked about my mom, which he never does. He asked how my mom was doing, which is really sweet of him. Really, really sweet of him. But, you see, and at the same time, you're like, okay, wow, he was really worried, or maybe I missed him too. And it's funny because I was so focused on what he was saying and trying to understand what he was saying, because my father has it rough. He had an operation in one eye, so he has this eyelid, right? And because I don't know what happened, but his eyelid is lower, so half of his eyes gonna be covered, right? He's gonna be looking at you like this. And I love my father, but that's the truth. He'll be looking at you like this. So if you're looking like this, if I close my eyes, I don't see as well as this one, right? So he has one eye where you don't see well because the eyelid is too low. So he had an operation with that, and it didn't work out. And I'm like, holy shit. And then he had a trip to Spain, which was during the time we didn't talk, and his trip didn't go well. So, like, look, this is basic knowledge. He went on a trip with another couple. He went with his girlfriend with another couple, but the other couple, they didn't know them that well. Nat, which is his girlfriend, which is my stepmom, if you will. She isn't really my stepmom, but she's been with my father for so long. I'm gonna call her stepmom by respect because lately she's been doing a lot of effort to be nice to me. So let's applaud this. It's a bit more. See, I'm like my father in that regard. My father is very like self-sufficient. I don't need to see you. I don't need to see people. But then I see my father, and I'll talk for me for half an hour, for 45 minutes. On different thinking, like, why is he talking so much? Because he didn't talk to anybody that day, you know? Like, okay. Nachi's a bit more, let's have a good time, let's have some friends, let's have some social interaction. I think, and I don't want to be generalizing, but my mom is the same way, that is the same way. I think women are more like that. They're more so a society being. Me, I have a couple of my boys, and that's more than enough. Women, they really need to be part of groups, part of adventure, like they go into trips. And Nat told my father, she was like, yo, these are really good people, right? And then they went to the trip, and the truth is, the wife of the friend of Nat, she was very bossy, and she started bossing my dad around. My dad, which again, I don't know why he did that. That's not cool. He kind of put my stepmom in the middle. It's like, yo, tell her that I don't appreciate that. You're on a trip. You're on a fucking trip. And if you don't accept that, you're not gonna go in a different house. You have to live with them. So appreciate that you live with them. Then realize that those people are not people that you get along with. And then don't make the same mistake twice. That's it. But you have to deal with it right now, right? It's like, oh, I have this shift today. I don't want to do it, but I'm already there. So I'm gonna have to finish my shift. I'm not gonna leave in the middle of it, right? And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Long story short, it didn't go well. So you had this problem, and I don't know. Maybe talking about this problem. Maybe it made me feel better. And I think it's a very very weird thing. In the sense, in the two sense actually. And the first sense is fucking humiliating. The first sense is like, am I feeling better because my father's not doing well? And I know what you're saying, Ing, that's a fucked up thing to say. Not really. If you yourself is not doing well, but every single person around you is not doing well, you're like, okay, well, guess what? The world is a tough place to live, right? I'm not being complicated. I'm not being weak. If everybody's doing not well and I'm not doing well, that's kind of normal. That's the new normal, right? And I realized that I didn't have to fake it. And with my mom, I was talking about it with her. I didn't have to fake it. So yes, I'm feeling better now. That's the thing. I feel better than I was yesterday. I'm doing a lot better, like a lot better. I'm smiling. I was in a good mood today. Now, ultimately speaking, the reason why I was in a good mood was because I didn't have to work, which work is another situation where I'm not super happy. Because again, I got one great boss and I got one boss that's a complete piece of shit. Which is, okay, well, I prefer working with you, but you're not here, and I have to work with this guy. So I hang around the place because I'm hoping to work with you, because if I work with you, I'll work there for a long term, but you're never there. So I'm ending up spending a short term with this guy, so it's not cool. See, I know I'm not doing well, right? But I'm doing good today. And it's kind of fucked up because I was drinking this, which is a Monster. You know, I'm gonna put some lights, because I think light's gonna help us. Reach for me, but I'm not there. It's so lonely without you there. But it's been so many years. Remember how I feel. So yeah, so that's better, right? That's a lot better. So I'm feeling better, and I was tasting this, right? And usually I don't like Rockstar. The thing with Rockstar is they have some flavor that is fucking amazing, but some of their flavor I don't like it. So it's always like a gamble, and I don't like to gamble. So I'm like, ugh. I go in with 2 steps backward, which is not good, and it made me realize in my own insanity that maybe I was having a bad day because I thought it was gonna be a bad day. Maybe I was gonna be having a bad day because I didn't feel well the next day. I didn't allow myself to heal because I'm so miserable. I fucking hate it, you know. And I don't think necessarily this is a bad thing, but if you're not allowing yourself to heal properly because you have had a one bad day out of 4, then you're sacrificing 3 days, right? So I'm doing well, and I understand that I'm doing well because I'm not as focused in my mind, right? I'm out of my mind a little bit. I had a lot of event today, which takes me away from thinking. Now, there's always going to be this fear that if I'm doing better because I didn't think about my situation, that's kind of denial, that's kind of avoidance. But you know what? Fuck that. I'm doing well today. I'm doing good. See, and it's actually quite nice to have this because this is a brand. And I was like, I saw the brand and I was like, ugh, right? But then I bought it because I wanted to test some new things with you guys. Because again, I think diversity is good. But it's so weird because I'm more visual, right? I'm more visual when it comes to learning. And it was so fucking weird because you see the brand, right? You see the brand and you're like, okay, I'm not a fan of it, right? So you come in with kind of hesitation, right? And then you look at your day and you go in like, oh, when I have a bad day, because you kind of hesitate, right? Then you realize that no matter the brand, you were able to have a good feeling. And no matter how you felt, you were able to have a good day. So in the 2 cases is your naming thing or your naming thing. And because you're naming things or you're putting a value on things, which is a negative value, by the way, I'm just saying. Negative value in the sense of, oh, it's a shitty. I don't like this brand, right? But you can also brand emotion, right? And the craziest thing is you realize at the end of the day that somehow, some way, diversity was the answer you were looking for. You were looking at yourself to fix problem. All you needed to talk to people that cared about you, you know? And you didn't allow yourself to have good emotion, but because of diversity, you had a good emotion. But diversity is also having bad emotion because you want to have a whole plethora of emotion. You want to feel every single thing. That way you feel life. So you have to embrace those negative emotion because you embrace those negative emotion. Like, fuck, I'm alive, right? But the negative emotion are so powerful that it's hard to move away or move on. If I have a heartbreak, if I'm in a relationship and it doesn't work, right? It's funny, I'm the kind of guy that gets attached quickly. I'm going to be in a relationship for 3 weeks and I'm going to have a problem with it after a month and 2 months. You know? And that sucks. Even yesterday, and I feel horrible about that. Yesterday, the highlight of my day was 2 things. One of my good friends, Sir Wizalot Ochwi, you can follow him, please. One of my friends was like, dude, this guy is amazing. You have a problem with your TikTok account? I'm going to help you out. I have an agency, I can take care of this for you. I was like, dude, thank you. Now, you can have your opinion on an agency, right? I don't know much about them, to be honest. I'm gonna have an interview with this guy. I'm gonna have like a solid interview, like solid discussion with this guy. And I think it's kind of cool because I trust him, right? We've been friends for years, so I do trust him. And ultimately, I don't think it matters how I look at agency. I thought the strike was gonna go away on their own. They haven't gone away on their own. Because they haven't gone away on their own, it doesn't matter. Because even if you don't like agency, do you prefer losing your account? No. Okay. The highlight of my day yesterday was I can help you. The second highlight of my day was a person that came in my DMs. I told you guys this story. A total stranger. And so you see, it's kind of funny. I told this story before. But I try to spend at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes a day, right? On my channel, on the main channel, to watch other people's video, to see how my peoples are doing, to see the events. It's like, to me, it's very weird, but it works in a way of, it works in a way of kind of news, right? Kind of news. Okay, so a lot of people are talking about this. Something happened here, right? That's kind of cool. and I look at people and my friend and to see how they're doing. So that way, I don't necessarily need to ask you how you're doing. If I see a video of you crying, right? And I did that on my main channel, and then I had a gaming channel, which I have a lot less follower. So I always go on friend, because For You page doesn't do anything for me. I always go on friend. And I was talking with this person, right? And I saw her crying. And the truth is, I don't know that person. She follows me, I follow her, but I don't know that person. And I just wrote chin up. And yesterday, that was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Today, I received a DM, and she wrote like five texts. And I woke up and I read it. And she said, thank you. She said, this meant so much to me. You really helped out. And this was my day, to find out a total stranger could help you. That I could help a total stranger, you know? Because, again, it's not about giving. It's not about receiving. It's about giving, right? And for that moment, it didn't matter how bad I was doing. I had helped someone, you know? And I feel kind of shitty because I never received message like that. I'm always supportive, but I never received like message like, oh, dude, you really helped out, right? Maybe if I did, but you're supposed to be like, wow, I did something good today. I feel good about myself. I'm valuing myself in a positive fashion because people are valuing me in a positive fashion, right? Evaluation of people, another crazy subject. Evaluation of people is very quickly. I'm going to make a video about that after that because I think it's a good subject. The evaluation of people is actually quite simple. So evaluation of people is how people perceive you. And evaluation of people is like, this guy's a good person and this guy's a bad person. Evaluation of people is actually quite important because people will tell other people this is how you should value him or her. And because people tell other people this is how you should value them, they'll have the preconceived value of you. They'll have this principle of this guy's a good guy because I heard he's a good guy, or this principle of this guy's a bad guy because I heard he's a bad guy, right? I have such an amazing group of friends where I can say some awful shit and they'll know that I'm joking, right? Sometimes I forget that it's my friends, and sometimes I talk like that with a stranger and like, dude, this guy is weird, right? And this preconceived value of people is how they perceive you. It is super important because, again, you want people to perceive you in a good fashion, but then you realize that the perception of multiple people doesn't really matter. A handful of people will see you as this good person. That's all that matter. I don't care if I please 1,000 people, right? Because I'll never have 1,000 friends. No, nor will I never want 1,000 friends. Why am I trying to please 1,000 people? Doesn't make a lot of sense, right? And this stranger that talked to me and I was like, I should have been like, wow, I fucking feel good, but it was not enough. And I wish it was enough. And then I talked to people today, my father and my mom. And I didn't even talk about my problems, or I didn't talk about problems at all. I talked about my dad about a problem, but his problems are it's so fucking complicated. Because I don't want to deny his problem. Like, it's shitty that you went on a trip with somebody else that you didn't like. But ultimately speaking, you should have done so. And ultimately speaking, you're never going to do the same mistake again because you learn your lesson. So it's a problem, yes, but it's kind of solved itself, right? For the eyelid, no matter how much I worried, I'm not going to be able to fix shit. And the funny thing is, he had an appointment today. So, you know. But, yeah. So doing better. And we're doing better today. So we're going to be focusing on today. And thank you for listening. I know I was ranting a lot, but fucking feel good to be ranting. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. We're doing all because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd December 2024. Today is actually a really cool subject. Today is a really nice little, not like something psychology, but sociology for sure. So we're going to talk about the evaluation of people, the value of people. So what do I mean by value of people? If you were a kid, right? If I had to explain to a kid, I would say your friends and your best friends, right? As a kid, everybody's your friend. Everybody's nice, right? But you have people that you really like, that's your best friend, right? As a teen, that's my crew, that's my homies, that's my bros. I don't know you, I don't give a fuck about you, right? As an adult is, okay, well, you know what, I want to spend time with these people. This is the value of people. Now, what is technically a more scientific term, more non-personal way of saying the value of people? A friend told you that this person was an asshole. So when you go in, you have this preconceived notion that this person is an asshole. I'm not a fan of Rockstar, but this was really good. When I started drinking it, I was like, ugh, Rockstar, I'm not a fan of it. So drinking it was really nice. There's people that I've been avoiding because I've heard how bad they are. There's people that I was told are assholes, but never gave them a chance. And when I gave them a chance, They weren't an asshole, right? Now, this preconceived notion, preconceived value of people is one of the most important concept of everybody. And especially if you're a person that is, especially if you're a person that's self-sufficient. So, in which way can it affect your life? This evaluation of people, it's again the simple concept of best friend and friends. So, a person will give you advice, and your preconceived, it doesn't matter how good the advice is, right? Your value of the person, right, will be the one thing that matter when it comes to, do I listen to this advice or not? If it's a stranger, if it's a teacher, a teacher which is an authoritative figure, right? You listen to them, right? And grade school, you have one teacher, you listen to them. And in high school, you have a couple teachers. Then you have choice, and then with choice comes a choice. With choices come your choices. Yes, I like that person. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, I respect them. So I'll listen to this. No, you gave me a detention last week, I'm not going to listen to you. Right? Preconceived value of people. See, and that is super important. That is where I want to go with it. Your preconceived value of people will be the defining factor of your reaction or your interaction with them. If you think that a person isn't a good friend, right, you'll be like, I don't really want to have this talk with you. And you'll put in less effort, right? And then if you put less effort in a conversation, then this conversation shouldn't be going well because, again, you put less effort. That's on you. That's not on them. They didn't put less effort. You put less effort, right? And the reason why we're doing this video is because somebody came in yesterday, a cold stranger, and said, hey, you wrote something that really helped me out, right? Because I didn't know that person. It meant a lot to me, but it didn't mean as much to me as it would have from a close friend. Now, technically, it's a shitty thing to say, but I'm just being honest, you know? You're gonna have those very popular streamer and things, and they'll have 100 of those emails a day. Oh, you really helped me out. And there's a point where it feels really good, but knowing that you help somebody, and knowing it's more so knowing how you help that person. So one of your close friends, you help them out, you give them an advice, and it really helped them out. And because they really help them out, it's kind of a cool thing because you're like, okay, wow, I'm seeing how it impacts your life. Now the stranger, I'm super grateful, but I was like, I don't know how you were feeling before, and I don't know how you're feeling now. I helped you, but I don't know if you completely healed. So how much did I help you, right? And technically, if I can't ask this question because this question is not nice to ask, but I don't know, this preconceived value of this whole stranger, right? I've opened a door for the whole stranger. This is the Canadian way. We open door for the whole stranger. Now, why am I willing to put in the effort to open the door, but when a person say thank you, I don't, it's so weird. Preconceived notion is also how your friend approach you, right? So, for example, I was talking about, this is the perfect solution for I'm doing better. So I'm going to be calling this video I'm doing better part 2. I'm doing better part 2 is, again, we're talking about Shao, my mom. We're two people I can think about that knows how to approach me, and knows how to tell me, and not necessarily teach me about things, but say, yo, this was not good, right? And it was nice because it was really nice in the fact that because I trust you, because usually your advice are good, because you have found a way to talk to me, for me to be open-minded at what you're saying, that I'm more likely to listen to your advice. And that's the problem with preconceived notion. It's also very bad because your preconceived notion will tell you, don't listen to that person, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And because you think that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, you're not going to pay attention. But this lesson was possibly a good one, right? You didn't give them a chance you didn't give the chance for them to explain themselves. And because you didn't give them the chance to explain themselves, then you didn't give them the chance to even try to help you out, or even try to talk to you. See, it's such a, and I know what you're saying, this doesn't really matter, it's not an important thing, but it is an important thing. So take a company, right? You take a company and you have this company, like, for example, Apple, right? And I was talking about this because my father was talking about Apple today and how good Apple was. But I don't like Apple, right? I love Pierce. Little joke. But my father was talking about Apple and how much he liked Apple. It fell upon a dead ears. If I was more willing, more open-minded about the product of Apple, I would be like, okay, cool, I get it, right? Maybe I should try. But because I was closed-minded about the Apple product, everything I was saying kind of fell upon deaf ear, right? Now, was that okay? Was that okay for me to ask? Was my preconceived notion of a product and somebody trying to sell me how good that product was me knowing that product wasn't something that I was interested in, reason enough for them to be like, talking to a fucking walls, right? And I don't know. But again, having preconceived notion about a brand is totally normal. Right, people will review brand and will tell you this is a good brand, this won't be a good brand. But and I think it's more for dudes, right? So you talk about a brand of tools, and it'll be like, oh, this is a good brand of tools. No, these are not good, right? And it's fucked because I couldn't believe that one brand, every single product is bad. I can't believe that. However, if you have a bad experience, it is normal that it teaches you something. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? But this preconceived notion, it's actually quite important. It's also in a conflict. It's actually extremely important. This person has a better image, right? If this person, for example, at work, right? You have this person that's really a good worker, right? And you're working on it in a team with them, and somehow what you're doing is not good. You made a mistake, right? Even though your partner did the mistake, since they're seen as the golden goose of the company, it seems as they're being seen as a better worker, then people will think it's you, right? People will presume it's you. If you make a mistake, people will say, oh, we did a mistake once, he's going to make a mistake again. Again, this is a preconceived value. And it leads us. And I think it replaces the instinct, right? So what I mean by that is actually quite simple. You're gonna meet people in life. You're gonna meet people, and you have this icky feeling. You have this feeling of, I'm listening to this guy, something is wrong about that guy, and you don't know him. So this is instinct, right? But if your preconceived value of things, right, are in a position to already make an opinion about a person or an object, then you don't give your chance to the instinct. And instinct is a muscle. For example, right? I know that fire will burn me, right? Absolutely. So when I'm in a position facing a fire, I can be afraid. I can hesitate, right? Maybe I shouldn't be afraid. Maybe I shouldn't hesitate. Now, am I saying jump in the fire? No. But, for example, there's a person in that fire. You're not going to want to try to save them, right? Because you have this preconceived notion. But you're a human, and they're a human. Their life has value, too. And even more than that, see, the preconceived notion is actually such a great thing to do. I'm going to tell the pros. There's one more con. I think that you learn more in your adversity. I think that you learn more in mistakes. So I made a mistake and I learned. I faced adversity and I learned. I came in a job, which is that job that I had, right? Not that job that I have right now, but the job that I had before that. And I was with a group of people, and it's kind of sad because for 4 years I was an agency worker, and nobody corrected me because like the mentality, the preconceived notion, the preconceived value of a person, of a temporary agent's worker is like, he's not going to be there for a while. He's not going to be there for long, so what's the point of correcting him? They were saying, hey, you're doing a good job. They didn't give a shit. But when I met the people at my work, they're like, no, you're fucking up, redo it. And at first I was like, people are fucking rude. No, they cared more than other people. They said, no, we're going to teach you. You're going to do a good job. We need you. And they didn't see me as a temp worker, and they saw me as another person. But technically speaking, that was wrong. That was absolutely wrong. They should have seen me as a temporary worker, because if I wasn't hired, right, then every time that they tried to help me, every time that they tried to teach me, then it served no purpose. But should you see a temporary agency worker as somebody that's not worth training, or you should see them as a potential employees that you should train, right? Complicated. And ultimately I was hired, so their effort paid off. But see, it's a risk. But you shouldn't judge a person on their age, sex, gender, or race, right? That's because you've notion. You're gonna have an experience with, I don't know, a person that's extremely political, right? They're extremely political. You're gonna have that experience. And every time that you're gonna hear about politics, you're gonna be like, oh man, I remember that moment, right? But the positive thing about preconceived notion is that, once again, fool me twice, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. See, preconceived notion is the classic, is the exact synonym of learn from your mistake. It's one thing to make a mistake. If you learn from it, that's awesome. If you make a mistake and you don't learn, and you keep making a mistake, you didn't learn, right? So preconceived notion plays a part in there. And preconceived notion is also going to be a guiding force. Well, I had this experience that was similar to that. I'm going to be able to do it. When you're building a chair, right? Your first chair that you're building, you're like, okay, I can understand how it works. And the second chair that you're building is like always different, but I remember the first chair. You get better, you get experience. And I think life is a crazy thing, because life is supposed to be enjoyed. Life is the Big Brother logo. Shout out Bruno, my fucking man. Bruno, my fucking man. And it's actually like, okay, well, life is something that I should pursue because I want to pursue it. Life is something I should try out because I want to learn it. I want to feel it. I want to have my heart broke because I want to know how it feels. I'm gonna dive into a pool of pain to feel alive, right? But then you dive in a pool of pain and you drown because you don't know how to swim. Now, technically, the second time you're able to swim, right? You're able to float. At least at the very least, you're floating. And this is preconceived notion is learning from life, right? So it's actually quite complicated because life is something that is a teachable moment. Life is a constant school, the school of life. And you're getting better grade and you're learning and you're studying and you're studying and you're studying, but then you're gonna have events in your life that you didn't allow them to happen, right? So you wanna believe in fate. You wanna believe in fate. So this girl hurt you when you were 13. She broke your heart when you were 13. Now the girl that you were supposed to be marrying, you met her when you were 16. But because that girl broke your heart when you were 13, you didn't marry her, right? Because you didn't marry her, she had another life. That's your fault, right? But then again, should you throw yourself in the jaw of the lion? Right. Again, what if, right? I think preconceived notion takes away the what if, right? And it kind of sucks because the what if is the beauty of life, right? People, great thinker, understood one concept. What if? Great thinker understood why. Great question. Why? See, preconceived notion also solves the question of why. Why am I doing this? Well, because this event happened 2 weeks ago. And I remember this, so I'm thinking that it's gonna be having the same conclusion, and it's stupid because if your preconceived notion of the conclusion of an event is a positive one, you're gonna try it again and again and again and again and again. And then you're gonna have negative result and like, just the fuck just happened. See, with gambling, that's the same thing, and this is how far it goes. This is really how far it goes. So the gambling, they'll let you win a couple of games, right? Because they'll let you win a couple of games. So here are how it is. Okay, trust me, this is crazy. So this is alleged, right? I'm not going after anybody. I'm not naming any places, brand, company. But there are certain establishments, right, that you'll go in and they'll have slot machines, right? I'm not going to say where, I'm not going to say whom, but they'll have slot machine, right? And the cheapest one, right? The cheapest one, the one that costs you a nickel back. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Now how did our guys get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head? Little Nickelback. If you're not a fan, you probably already left the video, so who gives a shit, right? So with these places, they'll have very low risk, very high reward places, slots. So the slots that cost a nickel, right, will give you a grand prize of $1. Will give you a grand prize of $2, right? And then you're like, holy shit, I made $2, right? But the price that you had to pay, right? The price that you had to pay was 10 cents. So you did 10 times the amount of money. So then you feel like you're lucky, right? So what are you gonna do the next time that you're going? Fuck the Nickelback machine. I'm gonna go with the $20 machine. And I'm gonna run for the $20. And because last time I won a lot, this time I should be winning a lot. Then you realize that, fuck, I also got cash. There's no problem with losing a nickel, but losing a $20, that's a bit more. So now you have a problem with the preconceived notion. I have one positive experience, and when I have one negative experience, it's a 1-on-1. I need a tiebreaker. I need a 2 out of 3, right? So the third time that you go is where you're testing metal. The third time that you go, what machine do you use? $20 or the nickel, right? Now, if you answer the nickel, possibly you don't enjoy life as much as you should. Maybe you don't take the risk that you should to enjoy life to its fullest. And if you answer $20, maybe you're taking too many risks. There's no good answer. Right? A person will choose one machine, another person will choose another machine. Both of them are right, both of them are wrong. That's preconceived notion. That is preconceived notion. And how it affects your everyday perception. See, it's kind of crazy. I called myself today, called myself a bread. And I meant it. I called myself a bread. So, as you guys know, I have a background in bakery, right? Also looking for work. And the bakeries are hiring, let me know. But life's a piece of toast. So you're born and you're flour, right? You're basic flour, you're bland as fuck, no experience. No experience, tasteless, right? And then your parents are the yeast. the yeast, which is the solving matter that will make the bread be the bread, that will make the bread grow out, right? Now, the bread, does it grow? Why does it become the way it is because the salt will actually kill the yeast. The salt killing the yeast will release a gas. The gas will release and make the dough blow, right? The dough blow. Because that's a salt is the experience, right? How much you grow, how much you don't grow is from the experience, right? Then you tell me, Ink, bread is more than just salt, bread, and yeast. And you're entirely right. The majority of bread is what? It's water. You're right, right? What is water? It's your perception, right? And water, when you're Aquarius like me, because yes, I'm Aquarius. If you were wondering, now you know. Now you know. Now I'm gonna get a bunch of comments saying, fuck Aquarius. Go ahead, you fucking Libras. See, with the water, and the water is another thing that is super bland, right? And because the great thing about being super bland is you can add lemon, you can have fucking juice, right? You'll add some taste. So what is water? It's your perception, right? It's how you see events, how you perceive events, right? Your body is also made of a lot of water, so turns out it's quite a good analogy, right? Your perception will play for a lot, and your perception is what? Is the way you see things. So what affects the way you see things? Past experience. And past experience is, once again, perceptive notion. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you. Peace. Don't blink. It's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. I'm doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd December 2024. This is your boy Ink Vendetta. Today we're doing a little bakery video because I used to have a background in baking, that you guys know. Some of you guys know. Also, I just gave in my 2 weeks for today work, right? So I'm newly gonna be looking for work. If you're looking for a baker, you know who to call or who not to call. So I want to do a video, kind of humoristic, but also quite founded quite something that touches the bottom of my heart, the bottom of the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants. Is life's a toast. Now I know what you're saying. Where's the butter? Where's the peanut butter? I don't fucking know. But what I do know is that life's a toast. So when you're born, you're like flour, right? FLOUR, flour. Bland as shit. Doesn't taste nothing, right? And then your parents, which is the first authoritative figure, the people that will teach you the basic of life, are the yeast, right? The yeast. And you're like, okay, well, I got a yeast, which I'm still carbon. I'm not diamond yet. And then experience in your life will be salt. Now, why salt is important? Salt kill the yeast. As a kid, you listen to your parents, and as an adult, your parents' opinion, the way they teaches you, is kind of changing, right? So the salt, by killing the yeast, will make the dough, will make the yeast have a gas. The gas will push the dough outward, which will make it more kind of doughy and less floury. And then you're like, hey, you're missing something. And the something that you're missing is water. Now, what is water in this case? Water is your perception. Now, why is water important? Because you need water in your dough, right? And your perception, why is it important, is as a water sign. I could say water is important, but also water is one of the best elements. So you see yeast, right? Yeast wasn't found. Yeast is natural, but most cases yeast isn't natural. Is made in lab. Salt, the quantity is very little, right? Salt, no matter how much you like salt, the quantity of salt for 1,000 grams of bread is 12 grams. Because we're talking about less than 1%. Just saying. Well, 1%, right? Then you have the water, which is apart from the flour, most important ingredient. What is water? It's your perception, how you see things. So all you need to understand is yeast is taken care of, salt is taken care of, flour is taken care of, water is the way you go, the way you see things, and enjoy yourself. Be the best bread you can be the best sauce you can be, and be eaten with jam, with peanut butter and butter. But don't be, I don't know what I'm saying, bloopers. Love you guys, take it easy. Peace. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are doing well this 3rd December 2024. Welcome to the worst lit unboxing that you'll ever seen. And for everybody that wanted to do a very poorly lit unboxing, know that there's a pattern on it. I will sue your ass for every penny that you own. So, with that little warning being said, let's open up these wonderful 125 true wireless earbud, right? So the reason why we have this is because your boy started working 3 weeks ago, ordered these a month ago. There was a strike with the Canada Post. We just got them recently, right? So what's looking, and I know what you're saying, Ink, you have a dozen of those. Yeah, but these last 56 hours. Now I work 40 hours per week. It's actually pretty good. So I was looking for something. I was looking for something a bit more quality, because the one I have are amazing, but they're not the best that there is. Now, strictly speaking, I am a kind of guy that needs to have music for work. I'm the a guy that this is really important for. This is more important to me than fucking. I can do what I can go. It's weird. I'm gonna say something that's horrible. I can go a day without food. I can go a day without food. I cannot go a day at work without music. That's my problem. That's my fault. That's the way I see things. So the first thing I'm going to say is a quite the large, freaking la la. Look at this. Holy! Just to tell you guys, this is what I have. Look at this. Oh, I need to put this before I drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Little Fortnite reference. Normal. New one. My Atlantis. That's a Jumbo Macombo. Jumbo Macombo. Well, big doesn't necessarily mean better. But hey, we'll try it later. So here's what it looks like inside. I will be all that you want. Forever we can stand strong. Wow, okay. A little bit too much of lights. Not great. So we have this. Holy shit. Yeah, it's a bit too much light. Fuck. Okay. It's a bit too much light. Shit. I didn't know that. And I don't have a beanie. I have a fucking cap, but I don't have a beanie. Yeah, this is a bit too lighty. Shit la merde. Okay, well, that's a little bit of a problem. But look, the product is good. It looks good. Now the size for the 48 hours is another big thing. The reason why I like them is the batteries once again, and the fact that the fact that I really like them is because these are huge. Okay. So you have this, you have this, and you have these. These are a bit smaller. Why is that important? Well, because at the end of the day, you want to not be seen having some music. You not being seen having some music is actually quite cool because you can listen to it at work. Now, am I saying that you should listen to music at work? Yeah, this is a problem. These are way too good. Way too lighty. Let's put it back before I lose it. This is a bit of a problem. Plus, it's huge. Holy shit. Made a mistake. Possibly. They weren't really expensive, but still. Accessories. So they should be pretty normal. What do we have here? Okay, we have the most important of them all, the little plastic thing. We have an accessory bag, which is kind of cool. This is the inside. The important part isn't that. The important part is the quality of the music. So I don't know how they're called, but we'll do. Okay, so we'll do this. Won't be long. Now, we'll do scanning for Bluetooth device. I-25. Okay. We know that's a name. Pairing device. Good. Connected. Good. We'll see how it works. So far, I don't know. So far it doesn't look great, but I mean, they're good. I like them. And they're black, which is great. Alive. They feel very comfortable. The sound is good. I don't know. It's something about them. I mean, they're good. As long as they're an upgrade from the last one, we're happy. So far, I'm clueless. The size of this. I mean, I'll need to use them a week. Then we'll tell you how it is. But so far, the noise is okay. The noise is okay. La 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 la. Okay. Very nice noise cancellation. Very nice noise cancellation. Very, very good. Wow. Okay. Wow. Can't hear shit. I mean, it's good. Once again, I'll check how it is, then I'll tell you guys. But so far so good. We're fucking locked. So you know what? I needed them. It's just a question of will they work well? And the answer is kind of good. What I do like is that you have a 93%. So it's good. It does look like it's professional. It does look like it's quality. This is kind of cool. Is it my favorite? No. Is it cool? Yeah. I needed it, so fuck the rest, right? Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Okay, cool. But I'm not there. It's so lonely, but who cares? It's fine, it's okay. Don't blink, it's your blink. Welcome to the show. This is doing well on this 3rd November 2024. We're having a wonderful day. We're tasting biscuit. I love this name, biscuit. You know why? Because in French, cookie is biscuit. So the way you said biscuit. Now, fun fact, biscotti is cooked twice, in case you didn't know. So we're having these biscuit bite-sized wafer, which is one of my favorite snack. We're having vanilla and milk. Again, I never had these. It's kind of cool. I was looking for bread that I haven't tasted before. We have another one of these, but it's hazelnut, which is something I already had. Vanilla and milk, never had. No, of course I had vanilla, but vanilla and milk never had. Kind of like the design. I'm trying to hurry up because we don't have a lot of battery left. Shit on the ingredient. It looks good though. Wow, look at this. I like it. It's cold outside too. It's cold as fuck outside. Let's go in, take a good shower. Okay. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is so weird. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're really, really good. Oh yeah. Man. It's so nice. The wafer tastes like nothing. Oh, the texture is amazing. The vanilla is there. It is vanilla. But the milk is almost. Actually has this ice cream flavor. Oh yeah. The milk is actually really nice. Because it had this creaminess in it. But weirdly, it's kind of buttery. Yeah. It's really good. It's like a buttery, sweet. Wow. I really like the sensation of. Really, really like. The sensation of both the milk. The milk is just hard here. You know, it's weird because it doesn't taste a lot, but vanilla doesn't taste a lot. The waffle doesn't taste a lot. The milk is how can I say this? It's very akin to drinking chocolate milk. So you'll drink the milk a lot. There's a small chocolate taste. It's fucking cool outside. You should go in. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a really cool experience. Anyway, long enough video. I love you guys. Take it easy. Try them out. They're amazing. Peace. Not a sponsor, but could be. Who knows? And you know you like the world to the way, don't you do the right. You know the right, don't you do the man, not I do the man. And I got you so. Did you back away, back away, don't you turn. And I know. You did that, you did today, that's it, good. You just did up this guy. So I away. Look at mine. No, it doesn't mind. No, she doesn't mind. doesn't mind. It's alright. Me like to daughter. Animal, animal, animal. Daughter. You know. Da 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 wah wah yeah. So high, what she do you lie? Not to watch it away, but she does alright. No, she doesn't mind. Mm. I got you so high, that shit though you lie. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Tory Show. Hope you guys are doing well. Having a wonderful day on this 3rd December 2024. Today we're doing a special. We're doing a double review of movie. We're doing Creep 1 and 2. Now, Creep is a movie that I watched when I was at work. I was working, my boss wasn't there, so we watched movies. And I had to watch Creep. Now, Creep at first wasn't a movie that I really paid attention to. The pacing was weird. The movie was weird. It felt. Oh. So, look how cold it is. Canadian is bitch. So Creep. The problem with Creep, and again, we started with a problem. But it's a really good movie, Creep 1 and 2. So the problem with Creep is it's kind of filmed a POV version. So there's so many movies that have been doing that. There's so movies that have been following the same recipe for POV. That when you see it, it's like, oh, it became so used that it kind of became like a not necessarily cringe, but cliche. Cliche is a good word. Creep was that. But then I kept on seeing people refer to the movie, and I was like, what they refer to the movie is not great. Then I rewatched it, and I realized why I didn't like it. It's quite easy. It is quite fucking easy. The movie that I watched wasn't Creep. It was Creep 2. So I just watched the first one and the second one, and I gotta say, phenomenal. So Creep 1 is it's a beautiful film. So the first Creep is the guy, he hires a filmographer, right? He wants to document his life. And at first, like, why does he want to do that? But then you see the character, which is a killer. I don't remember your name, I'm sorry, dude, but I like you. And you kind of see that he's a bit weird, right? And he kind of documents his life, and he's really, really, really weird. And the movie in itself is, I wouldn't say is an amazing movie. I wouldn't say narratively captivating, but it's actually quite smart. I think it's smarter than good. Now I know what you're saying. How can it be smarter than good? Well, the way it's presented, the idea, the concept behind it is better than execution, right? So the concept behind it is you have two main characters. In the first movie, the dude makes a movie. In the second movie, the girl vlogs him, right? Now, technically, you think. So technically speaking, in the first movie, you're seeing the movie through the lens of the guy. So it's very easy to think about yourself as the guy behind the camera. Michael Green, kid behind the camera, a little YouTube reference, you're welcome. In the second movie, there's the girl who's vlogging. and she's doing confessional, very, very Malcolm in the Middle, very cool confessional, right? Like, okay, well, I'm talking to her, so although I'm not her, because you see her more than you saw the guy, you kind of realize like, okay, I'm on her side, right? But then you realize after watching the two movies that the main character was never the videographer. The main character, right, was the killer. Now, why is Creep so cool? Why is Creep such an amazing two movie? I'll be honest, as a solo piece, Creep 1 sucks. As a solo piece, Creep 2 sucks. The two together, they're fucking brilliant. They are fucking brilliant. So, why is that? Is because you gotta build the characters. You gotta realize that the main guy is a bad guy. But why is it so important is you knew from the beginning. You knew that you were making a movie about this guy that was weird. In the first movie, he kind of hired you to film him. In the second movie, that you were kind of looking for it. So in the first movie, once again, it's actually really, really nice. So the first movie is kind of the genesis of the killer, right? So what's kind of nice is because in the genesis, the guy is trying to look for what to do, right? So you have this this person, right? And again, is the two of them. You have an evolution. You have the guy who is a newly killer, right? And then in the second one, you have a main killer, and he's a serial killer now. And of course, I'm watching Dexter, so it doesn't influence me right now. But in the first movie, so you have this guy, and then you realize that the whole movie, you kind of see the killer as this kind of weird guy, of course, weird guy, kind of this creepy guy. But you realize that he's dealing with his own demon, right? And he's keeping them at bay, and he's dealing with his own demon, but it's like, yo, this is not how you act. Now, what happened is he kind of becomes friend with the main character, which is us behind the camera, right? And us behind the camera, he's like, yo, I trust you, you're my friend, right? But then us behind the camera, and it's kind of cool because Creep is that. It is almost, I wouldn't say it's so much a critique on social interaction, but what do you do when you have a creepy friend? What do you do when you have a crazy friend? Do you tell them? Do you stay friend with them? Do you avoid them? And this is, they're really exploring the multiple possibilities. So in the first one, right, which is, I'm going to talk about the first one and talk about the second one. We're going to do it in the laws of the art. It's kind of funny because in the first one, you're like, okay, I don't want to be your friend because you're creepy. I'm afraid of you because you're too intense, right? But then the killer, he just wants to be friend with you, right? He just want to be friend with you because you understand him. The reality is you don't understand him. It's just the first person that he told how he's feeling, right? And the problem with the first character is there's literally like, you see the guy is trying to escape. The problem with the first movie, in my mind, is the only time where the main character feels like a character, when the guy who films feels like a character, is when he's trying to get away. So you're in a position where you put all the focus on the killer in the first part of the movie. The second part, we had this guy and we just met him and he's trying to escape, right? Now we know the situation, we know why, but we don't know that guy. So it feels weird. It's like saying like, oh, guess what? You've been eating in this restaurant for years and years and years and years and years, and you like it, right? Here's a chef. And at first you're like, holy shit, that's a chef. That's so cool. Then you realize that every time that you go there, the chef comes and he talks to you and you're like, well, I know you cook. I know you're part of the story, but I came here to eat, not to talk, you know? So in the first one is actually quite nice, because the first one, you realize that the first Creep is about a serial. The two movies are about serial killer, which it's a bad guy we're talking about, the Creep in itself. And in the first movie, he doesn't want to kill, right? So we have the genesis, why it happened. So the reality was he saw on his computer his wife watching animal porn, I guess. Beast porn, I don't know how you call it. But he saw her watching that, right? So what happened was, to make her happy, he was like, you know what, I'm going to wear this mask as an animals, and I'm going to fuck her, right? And then she's really enjoying it. And then every time that he would fuck her without the mask, she wouldn't enjoy it as much. Like, okay, well, fuck it. But then he decided to kill her because he was disgusted by her. And then the first movie is that. It's like, oh, I killed somebody. I feel so bad. Then he becomes his friend. And then you realize that the reason that he killed his wife is because he felt betrayed by her, and the reason why he killed the first guy is because he felt betrayed by him. So the first guy was hired to film him, and it's kind of cool because at first he's talking about the story, then he's really going into the details. This is how I kill her. This is why I killed her, and like holy shit, this guy's legit a killer, and it's kind of cool because and that's my favorite part about The Creep. This is why the movie is such a smart piece of content. The reason why the movie is such a smart piece of content is simply because at first the guy is so weird, it's so creepy, right? That when he tells you I killed somebody, you think he's joking, you don't think he's for real. You're like, bro, you're crazy, dude. You're crazy. But no, you actually killed somebody. And you knew, you just didn't believe it. Because you didn't believe it, you're in the wolf den. So then the first guy he starts to run away. And there's also this almost erotic aspect to the film where you feel that he kind of cares a lot about the film. He cares about the main character. Is like, yo, I need you. You're hurting me. That person that hurt me, like that's my wife and I killed her. I'm gonna kill you, right? And that's when he's in danger. Now, in the first movie, once again, he's trying to resist that. The second movie to me is better, but the second movie is better than the first one, but only instead of the first one. So the second movie is better because it is more complex. It is better realized. The story is more gripping. The main character is better. The filmer is better. But it's also good because you saw those characters and you saw them grow up. You saw them, how it happened. So, for example, I'm going to take a very popular example. And we're going to take the example of Young Sheldon, right? So, Young Sheldon, which is an amazing show that I strongly recommend, right, is based on The Big Bang Theory, right? The Big Bang Theory, the most popular character was Sheldon. Young Sheldon is kid of the Sheldon, the most popular character. So, there's a lot of events that happened that adult Sheldon in Big Bang Theory mentioned. The death of his father, how his brother left, how his brother was working, how his sister was mean to him, right? Then it happened in the movie. But you saw the movie, you saw in Young Sheldon, you saw why it happened. You saw, okay, we knew it didn't happen. We knew that that's gonna die. We didn't know how. Now we know, right? We know how the rest of the family felt. We saw George, the brother of Sheldon, as this bad guy because he left the family when their father died. No, he left to work. And you see him, how much he felt guilty and how much he wanted to protect the family and how much he felt the pressure to protect the family. And you realize that he had his own kid way too young. So now he had his kid way too young, and then his father died. So he didn't have the hope. He was like, I have to raise my own kid, but I have to protect my family. I have to provide for my family. I don't know what to do. And that's why he was so away. It wasn't away because he couldn't deal. It was a way taking care of two families at once. Right? You realize that Missy, which is the sister of Sheldon, was always mean to Sheldon because Sheldon was a favorite. Sheldon was the golden goose. They were twins. And Missy was always, look at your brother. So you realize that Missy was actually not mean to Sheldon. She was just jealous. She was a victim. She was a victim of the treatment that Sheldon received. Now, in the first movie, we saw the killer being a baby Sheldon. And you knew he's a killer, but you now know why. And the second one, he's still a killer. And the best part about it is, the beginning is so amazing. So the beginning is a YouTuber, and I fucking love the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie is amazing. It's so fucking great. Honestly, Creep 2, I'll be honest. I haven't seen a good movie like that in possibly 2 months, 3 months. And you know what? I'm sorry, Jordan Peterson. No, not Jordan. Jordan Peele. What the fuck am I saying Jordan Peterson for? He's a shrink. Jordan Peele, I'm sorry, bro. I love you. I love Nope, right? I loved Get Out. Before Creep 2, I watched the movie Us. And I gotta say, Creep 2 is way better. So in Creep 2, you have this YouTuber, and she has this vlog, and she talks to weird people. And then she's like, I want to discover why they're weird. And when you look at YouTube nowadays, there are people that do that. Oh, I'm talking about today with a functioning heroin addict. Oh, today I'm talking with somebody that has high functioning autism. Today I'm talking with somebody that has a sickness, right? We had this now. But they're showing a very old YouTube where possibly that wasn't the content there was. And the funny thing is, the way that the thing starts is, she entered an ad looking for weird people. So her channel is about weird people, and then she saw weird people, and she complained that the last video that she did had 9 views. which is a motivation to her to getting the creep. So when the creep is acting like her, and the nicest moment in the movie is you saw the same man in the movie. You know he's the killer. You know he is the killer, but she doesn't know. So when they scream at the TV, he's a killer. Get out of there, right? But you can't because it's a fucking movie. And the best thing about it is it's very Tusk-ish. So Tusk is a movie about a guy. You know the story. I told you the review multiple times. But Tusk, long story short, he's a podcast and he's making fun of people. And then he makes fun of somebody that's too crazy. And because he makes fun of them, he always wants to push the envelope, push the envelope, push the envelope. He found somebody that's crazier than shit. And then because he found somebody that's crazier than shit, then he's victim of a crazy person. Creep 2 is the same thing, but Creep 2 is more realistic. So you saw that he's a killer, right? And he's so fucking weird. He tells her to get undressed because he said, "I'm wondering what you look like naked, and I want to treat you for the person that you are, not what you look like. So I'm going to see you naked. Because I'm going to see you naked, then we don't have to worry about seeing each other naked." Long story short, that's what it is. It's weird, but it's a creep. And so she does it. And the whole movie, it's kind of cool because she constantly says that. And in this movie, which is really nice, this evolution is, the guy tells, from the beginning, he tells her, "I'm a killer. I'm a very prolific serial killer." And she kind of believes him, but she thinks that he's exaggerating. She's like, okay, well, this guy is probably violent, but I don't think he's a killer. Now, I think in the middle of the movie, she doesn't realize that he is a killer, right? And then the movie is actually fucking phenomenal. The creep, he tells, "I killed 39 people. We're filming a movie. I want this movie to be about the killer getting killed. So you're gonna have to kill me." And then the girl, she tells him, you cannot ask me to do that. I don't want to do it. And then the guy said, "Either you kill me, right, or I kill you." And the Creep 2 is about survival. See, Creep 2, the reason why it's so good, because of the main character, because of the YouTuber that's filming the killer, right? The killer is an amazing character. He's a well-developed character. But and it's like a movie that the one that's filming, the camera person, is also kind of person you care about. So like, I care about her, I care about him, who's gonna win. I don't care who wins, I care about the two of them. I don't want them to be in a problem, right? And it's about this girl who also is discovering herself. To what length am I willing to go to get this story? To what length am I willing to go to get my video, right? And that is why he likes her. He likes her because he's like, you're willing to go all the way to get your video. And he's right. And it's a oops. Shit, that merde. I don't have enough space. I don't have enough space, but I have 46 gigs. Go figure. Sorry about this. But anyway, the video is pretty much finished. So it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie because you got a killer and you're like, okay, well, how's he gonna kill her? And is she gonna be able to make it? So see, in the first movie, the problem with the first movie is you don't really care if the guy dies because you don't know him, and you kind of prefer the bad guy. But what if the good guy was more entertaining, was more of a character worthy of surviving? And then the second movie makes you ask a couple questions. She basically went to him. She was looking for her story. She got a story. She got what she wanted. She got what she came for, right? Now, the fact that she got what she came for and it was a bit too much for her, that's on her. That's her problem. But ultimately speaking, she actually went in and said, I want to watch this. I want to listen. I want to live it. And I'm going to do whatever I need to do to live the full experience, right? Which is a bit her fault. Which, again, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it is. But then she doesn't mean that she's supposed to die, right? And that's it. So the Two Creep movie is amazing. Really good. Really suggest them. Go watch them out. We got 9%. We're going to have to go. Love you guys. Peace. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. Guys are doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd December 2024. Today we're talking about, of course, the one, the only movie, Us by Jordan Peele. So Us is the third movie I said from that guy, Jordan Peele, the mastermind behind Key and Peele, behind Matt TV, but also a brilliant horror movie enthusiast and creator. Very, very talented. So Us is the third movie. Once again, we watched Nope, we watched Get Out. Us is probably the weakest of the three. I wasn't really afraid. Us is more creepy than anything else. So Us is a story of the mirror world. It's a story of doubles. It's a story of our main cast, right? And our main cast could be replaced by people who also deserve a place in society. There are clones that are wanting to replace the original, which is a story that has been told, that has been done over and over and over and over again. It's actually a good story, the way he does it. My favorite scene in the movie, the movie's actually pretty good. It's scary, it's gory, it's more disturbing than scary, but there's actually like really good, like there's a scene where they tell you why are the double like them, and you realize that the clones have they lived a shitty life. They lived a shitty life, and all they had to do was live the same exact event that the main people did. So, for example, the main person, right? She goes to like the fair, I guess, and she goes to the fair and she has a good time. And we see the version of the fair of the double, the clone, and it's super shitty. So you realize that those clones have emotion, right? They have emotion, and you feel bad for them. So you replace them. Now, my problem with the movie is they replace the main cast, but the main cast, you don't really care about them. You don't know them enough to say, oh, well, I really hope they stay alive. So because you don't really care about the main one, then you realize that you don't really care if the main one are there or the doubles, because you're not attached to the original one. But ultimately speaking, the doubles, and the doubles are victim. They had a shitty life. They were not asked to be created. They were giving the worst of possible worlds. And that's the problem with the movie. The movie is good, but I didn't care about the main cast. And because I didn't care about the main cast, I didn't care about what happened to them. And once again, the clone had a better, in my mind, reason for being there. So you're like, I kind of want the double to win, and I think it goes against the movie. So very disturbing, very good, very very nice. They're creepy. You can tell that they're fucked. You can tell that they're not normal. But then again, I don't know. Disturbing, but not scary. Good story, but I wouldn't say good characters. That's pretty much it. So, sorry, didn't really like it. It was okay. It was kind of good. It was okay. Maybe I should watch it again to see. Maybe I see something that I missed. Who knows?